So, there's a small YouTube channel named Emiru, whom I called Emriu last YouTube video because my brain has just been malfunctioning recently, but that's not the point of the video. I just wanted to talk about a platform that she streams on called Twitch real quick, from the eyes of a GigaChad YouTuber looking down on those beta Twitch users. And before we continue, just know that everything I say here is just my opinion, and I want you all to treat it as such. It's all just my opinion. Don't go around harassing these people, nor should you take my words as gospel. And also, this video is going to be split into different sections because I actually just wanted to talk about Twitch as a whole and TwitchCon and how it was such a bad event. More stuff happened like around the Emiru situation, but Emiru's situation was obviously the worst part of it because, you know, somebody could have gotten slimed out right there. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about that real quick. But there's no coherent order to this really because it's more of a general video on the shit show known as Twitch, really, rather than the things that really, you know, like just Emiru herself. Because there's a lot more that happened there, but I feel like that's not getting enough attention as well. And it's not like, oh, this is Emiru's fault that these people aren't getting attention. No, that's not the case at all. I just wanted to say that, yeah, that the thing that happened is bad, and I'm actually going to dedicate an entire section of this video to Emiru. Like, basically half the video is going to be about that. But I wanted to talk about other things that happened at TwitchCon too. So with that being said, let's begin. First off, can we just acknowledge that Twitch has been getting into more and more controversies lately? Like, putting aside the whole Emiru situation, which skip here if you just want to go straight there, but you know, like, there's so many controversies that I'll talk about in a little bit, but first of all, I just want to talk about how Justin Bieber is on Twitch now. This is literally like a South Park. We are living in a South Park episode. This is so random. An old singer that was popular about a decade and a half ago, asking whomst has awoken the ancient one, and started doing whatever the bumblebee flip over here he wanted to do. And his singing career is a bit older than I am, I think, actually. And just the fact that I'm seeing freaking Justin Bieber of all people on Twitch is, to me at the very least, a little bit relieving because of all the drama I'm seeing. But then again, maybe this is just a false sign and things are still going downhill from here, and I'm just being a little bit too hopeful from what I've seen on the internet at least. But it is just so weird how now we have musical artists transitioning over to like Twitch. Well, not musical artists, it's just more like the entire entertainment industry as a whole is starting to go to more and more streaming platforms. And I feel like that's a little bit fascinating, you know? Seeing all these music artists going into a different genre of entertainment where it's just gaming or like IRL streaming or things like that rather than the conventional music or theater or music videos or things like that. I feel like that's very interesting to be seeing, but you know, like that's not drama, that's just freaking Justin Bieber hopping on Twitch. Second, I feel like Twitch's greed when it comes to earnings is rubbing off on its streamers because take a look at a few of these screenshots where XQC literally says that on a quote-unquote bad day, he earns 50k in a day. He makes more than most people do in a year and a half, and this guy's pulling 5 figures daily and calls that a bad day. And at this point, I would just pack my bags and leave, man, because that is such an ass backwards train of thought. I genuinely think that this guy's out of touch now. He has been out of touch, but I feel like this just ultimately cements it, because every day should really be a good day if he's making 50k a day. Holy moly, one day. He's destroying the average family's income at my school. 2 days, he's pretty much going band for band with the Californian middle-class citizen. 4 days, and he's destroying the head of the Federal Reserve, and a week makes him comparable to 20-finger anesthesiologists, and yeah, you get the idea. Sure, you can say it's because I need to brighten up a little bit, but at the same time, you can't say that this isn't spoiled behavior, and that's not, like, such an ass-backwards thing to say. For him to be saying, oh, yeah, no, I mean, I just make, like, 50k a day, like, on, like, a pretty bad... No, like, every day would be a good day if that's the case. Like, what in the world are we talking about here? That's 50k, that's 50 bands. Third, no one has talked about this somehow, but apparently there's a Twitch streamer named Lulu Lovely who was streaming for Twitch, but it was laced with goddamn malware. No one besides Dexerto really talked about this, so I kind of wanted to spread this real quick because, you know, people should know that physical security isn't the only thing Twitch was lacking during TwitchCon. They also lacked cybersecurity, and this is pretty damn disturbing because clearly someone had to have been able to access that computer in some way, whether that be through just hacking it remotely, through like, I don't know, connecting to the Wi-Fi, which gave them access to all the computers connected to the Wi-Fi, whatever, or maybe just straight up inserting a USB into there. So yeah, guys, if you're a Twitch streamer and you're going to TwitchCon, make sure you have remote devices so you can stream the event with devices you actually have full access to, instead of streaming through Twitch granted devices, because based on these events, there's something clearly wrong here in regards to Twitch's security. Now, let's talk about the Emriu situation, because even though cybersecurity breaches are bad and rich people are spoiled, all that doesn't really matter if the owner of those devices are dead. And that's kind of what almost happened, really. I'll be real with you here. I feel like Emiru probably could have gone slimed out because the dude had a pen. Now, I don't know if y'all have seen John Wick yet, but if you haven't, just know that a pencil can kill 3 people. So a pen can certainly get at least 1 down. But luckily, Twitch security was there to respond in a timely fashion, of course. The guy was able to respond in a timely manner. I'm just kidding, my sarcasm is bad. Of course the bodyguard's a slow dumbass, and I entirely blame the bodyguard for having the reaction speed of dental floss. But at the same time, the legal system is pretty screwed, to be fair, and Twitch isn't really law enforcement, but, you know, they can't really do anything unless the guy actually commits a crime. Then security can step in, which I feel like that is complete bullshit. If I were to actually go for president, that's the first thing probably not the first thing I'm gonna tackle, but that's gonna be one of the things up there, is that you need to change something like this, because what in the world do you mean that you have to wait until the person commits a crime? And I'm pretty sure at some point there was a change saying that, oh, if the person clearly had an intent to commit a crime, then like, yeah, you can like stop them or something like that. But it's part of the job description of a security guard. You're supposed to be able to protect the people that you're standing at, like, for the venue. Like, if the people hire you, then you protect those people and the people that are involved with those people. Is that not, like, part of the job description for a security guard? And not only that, according to Emiru, they let the guy go scot-free. They could have done a citizen's arrest, but they didn't, even though the guy clearly at that point committed a crime. So yeah, that's not good. I'm pretty sure that isn't really good on Twitch's part. That's like, you let the guy go. If that guy clearly did something, then you should have held him down so that way security, or not security, actual law enforcement could come by and arrest the guy. And the whole reason why I decided to start talking about this was actually because of a few things, because originally I didn't actually want to make a video about this, since everyone who should make a video on it did make a video on it, and everything that needed to be said was said. But number one, according to multiple sources, Dan Clancy allegedly said that the thing that happened to Emiru is a problem that the entirety of society faces, and it's not just a problem at Twitch or something along those lines. Yeah, what the fuck? This is not your place in the whole thing. The place that Twitch has in all of this is that whatever Twitch didn't work because something dangerous happened despite whatever security measures Twitch took. And I legitimately don't believe that Mr. Clancy really meant this. There's no shot that he actually means what he says here. It's probably some PR horse crap that was drafted in the war room or something like that. What I think that this statement was trying to do was trying to make it seem as if Twitch is not acknowledging like the existence of the incident, so that way Twitch wouldn't be held liable for this incident, but rather just making it more of a broader problem. And through saying that it's a societal problem, they're trying to make it seem as if they're saying, yeah, something needs to be done about creepy people like this. But if that's the case, why didn't you do anything about it besides giving that guy a 30-day Twitch ban? Which, by the way, I wouldn't even give an actual comment on that, because no shit, you guys should know what to think about that. Yeah, I'm just gonna skip over that part real quick. Or better yet, maybe track that guy down and just get that guy arrested, like something better than 30 days ban on one singular platform. But anyways, yeah, why give such a non-existent punishment if you agree with your own statement then? This is actually the equivalent of taking away a kid's allowance because they got a DUI. The punishment does not fit the crime because the punishment gets essentially catapulted to the stratosphere off the scale of how light of it is. That punishment is actually as real as Santa Claus, and it doesn't even back up the statement of how it's a problem in society. And if it is a problem, why not fix it? By Mr. Clancy here admitting that this is a societal problem, he acknowledges that it is a problem. So if it is a problem, why wouldn't he actually do anything about this? Of course, I was just playing into his line of logic in order to show that even if we played around with Dan Clancy's logic, his PR is still totally screwed in this situation. And additionally, if I were the person pressing charges, I wouldn't go with assault, I'd go with sexual assault. The reason being is that, first of all, this is some random fan. Emiru and the guy don't even know each other, yet he still went in for a kiss. And since we can all agree that kisses are a form of physical romantic attraction, there could be an argument made here that since this fan just really wanted to kiss Emiru while not knowing her at all, I can't even argue that they kissed because of familiarity and things like that. Like, you know how, like, in España, apparently, my teacher says that, you know, people kiss each other like just as a sign of familiarity, even like friends kiss each other as a sign of familiarity. But you can't even make that argument here because it didn't happen in Europe, it happened in America. So yeah, this guy probably didn't even do it for jokes either, because, you know, like, who the fuck does that for a joke? This is some random person. So yeah, the guy just really wanted to kiss her, and since kisses are normally perceived as a form of physical romantic attraction, besides in Europe, but this didn't happen in Europe, you know, I feel like a good case could be made that this is sexual assault. And the reason why I'd push for this so much is because, number one, this guy's a creep, he deserves more than a piss-ass 30-day ban, but you also usually sexual assault cases give heavier punishments because the crimes are generally more severe and more invasive. So yeah, that's kind of what I think as well. I feel like I would personally push for sexual assault, but I mean, regular assault is more of like an easier case to make because, you know, he touched her without her permission. That's it. That's all you really got to do. I mean, obviously there's more to that, but, you know, that's just the general gist of it. So yeah, I mean, like, this is the safest way to go, especially considering nowadays more and more people that I personally believe are guilty are just freely getting away with this. But yeah, you know, like, I think that Emiru should be pressing charges. You know, everything that needs to be said has been said, of course. So yeah, that's about it. That's all I really gotta say. Overall, I didn't really want to make this video, primarily because I felt like everyone already said what needed to be said, and I should move on to other videos and things like that. Like, but, you know, number one, this is just something that's actually just been horrible that's been going on. And number two, after I saw Dan Clancy allegedly say, according to multiple sources, saying, oh yeah, no, this is a societal problem, this isn't just a problem limited to Twitch, I just lost it, and I just decided to type up a script really fast and, like, just make a video. Emriu, if you're watching this, I send my well wishes to you. I hope you feel better, and I hope you win that case, because if you don't, I feel like the entire internet would probably go flipping ballistic over here. But yeah, I mean, that's about it. That's all I really gotta say. I hope you have a good day, and bye.